Hey guys, Captain CA here with FlatsClass YouTube. Today I made a run out with a fellow guide friend of mine, Captain Adam Maye, here on the Nature Coast. We went out of the area known as Ozello, and what I really wanted to do is expose him to the Hells Bay Eldora. This is a cool little micro skiff that I actually got my hands on about 10 months ago, and I did a quick little review 10 months ago, but now after I've been able to refine the way I fish out of this boat and make a few adjustments to it, I thought we'd do another review after I've had, probably about 150, 200 hours in this boat. So I've got to wash this thing up and get it organized so that you guys are going to do the walk around with me. But while I'm doing that, check out some of this action that we had today on the water, and then we'll do the walk around the Hells Bay Eldora.
This episode of FlatsClass YouTube is brought to you by Aquatraction, your go-to solution for advanced marine flooring.
That was a freaking nice eat. You see him come up?
Yeah, he came right out from under the mangrove shoreline.
The second he touched it, because I saw his face out of the water.
Yeah, he's hanging on that shadow line. He's prospecting.
Yeah, I've been waiting to see something, but every now and then you got to take a shot at that shadow line.
Feels good to be home. Yeah, he's a decent one at that. A slot fish. Got a mouthful of Z-Man.
He ain't happy about it.
No, he's not happy about it. Good looking fish too. Really good looking fish. Pretty sure that's got 30-pound fluoro on it. Oh yeah, that's a good fish. A lot better than we thought. A lot better than we thought. Good job. Back in the pond, and we're off to the next customer. They just disappear in that grass.
Yeah, you see him lay right down in there?
Yeah.
Some pretty cool footage, not only just catching the fish, but looking around and seeing where this little boat can go. Its overall length is only 16 feet long. The Hells Bay Eldora probably weighs somewhere in the mid 300-pound range, and its beam versus length is the perfect geometry for, easy push poling. Very easy push poling. My favorite skiff of all the skiffs we have in the Hells Bay Navy to push pole and access backwater bays, the backs of creeks, places that no one else can go. This boat can get there. Remember, it only draws about 4.5 inches, 4.5, 5 inches. That's it, depending on the load. So pretty incredible. I went with the micro anchor. In fact, I'll bring you guys in here a little bit closer. I went with the micro anchor. I like the micro anchor. It does a good job with this boat, especially in very, very soft bottom. If I'm on rocky bottom, lots of times I'll take the spike out, which I have stored in my rod holder up underneath there, and I'll find one soft spot and I'll anchor the boat off the nose. I went with the 25 horsepower Yamaha This is a 15-inch shaft, 4-stroke motor. Here's the realistic numbers now that I've had the boat for 10 months, like I said. You'll probably be able to do with 2 people in the boat, me and another angler of 200-pounder, let's just say, all right? You should be able to achieve 25 miles an hour. This thing does about 21 knots on my Raymarine, so 25 miles an hour is definitely there. If you've got someone smaller, or if you're by yourself solo, you'll easily be able to do 26.5 miles an hour, maybe even 27 if everything's okay. The way that I like to travel with it is with a definitely with a transom saver and a piece of bungee here. Does a good job. It's got some nice tabs on this boat. You can see I've got the American flag. It's got the little pad here, which I keep in good shape. And you'll notice, well, I'll lift the pad up. You'll notice the aqua traction. Aqua traction in this boat, which I've had in the boat now for probably 8 or 9 months. I love it. It's easy to keep clean. I can be very aggressive with a pressure washer or a stiff bristle brush, and it does a solid job. So that's the transom of the boat, what I've got going on here. I'm gonna walk you through the rest of the boat, but while I'm doing that, check out a little bit more fishing action.
Pro whatever, Pro Max.
Oh, really? That is a good phone. That's like having a motion picture camera. Look at that. It came right out. I had to keep the tension on it.
I barely even touched him.
Yeah, nice fish. Very nice. Respectable day here.
All right, now I'm prepared to talk about the rest of the boat. Let's talk about a little bit more about the aqua traction. Aqua traction, very cool product. Keeps everything nice and clean. I've integrated a measuring board in mine. Gives you a little bit more what I would call soundproofing. The boat's a lot quieter because there's not a finished floor in this boat. So by adding the aqua traction, it really has done a fantastic job. Now this boat only has a 6-gallon fuel cell. That's it. But I will tell you, with a 6-gallon fuel cell, wide open throttle, you have about 50 miles of range. Now you can extend that by not running with a whiskey throttle, wide open. If you run at a decent speed, let's just say 14, 15 knots, naturally you would extend that range maybe 60 miles or so. So if you need to go further than that, you need to get a bigger gas tank. In my particular rig, I put a 45 quart Tundra. This is a Yeti Tundra. I added the aqua traction pad on top with the Eldora logo. It's excellent. It's got Yeti tie downs. It never moves. Gives me the right ballast. I also put a Yeti trailhead chair in here. Why did I do that? It's not anchored. It doesn't need to be. It's very sturdy, guys. Super sturdy even when we're running. If we're running in something rough, like I'm running from Islamorada to Flamingo in the Everglades, I'll put a beanbag in there and whoever's going with me rides in the beanbag. But for most backcountry, back creek stuff, this little chair here, more than adequate. And the best part about this particular chair is it folds up like a stadium seat, and I can put it, and you probably saw it in the fishing action, I put it on the side underneath the helm over there, and it does a good job. Speaking about under gunnel, I typically take 4 rods with me, 2 on the starboard side and 2 here, usually spinning on the port side. That's really all I need. If I want to take 6, it definitely accommodates 6. Now, I'm going to close this out with taking a look at the helm because I've customized it a little bit. And after that, we're going to close it out. Stay tuned. All right, the helm is where I spend most of my time. What the crown jewel on the helm typically is in a boat like this is the electronics, because you've got to be able to navigate some pretty skinny water and or what I would call a labyrinth of islands that you're trying to move in and out of and you can't make any mistakes. You need this, especially if you're running places like Hell's Bay or Whitewater Bay in South Florida. If you're running 10,000 islands around Naples, here in the Nature Coast, we have a zillion islands. Or even if you're someone who's fishing Louisiana or fishing maybe the low country up along the Carolinas. This is a Raymarine Axion Pro. It does a great job for me. It's never let me down. It's a very nice 9-inch screen that I can see from my polling platform. So even when I'm push polling, I leave it on so that I can see. I do not have a deucer with this. I don't need to know how deep it is, because most of the time I'm just fishing the shallowest of shallow water with this particular skiff. Now, let me show you what else I've done here. I'm going to reach in here, and you're going to see that I've got this cool little Robo cup holder. I usually put my coffee over here. I got a cell phone holder here that I keep my Marine VHF radio in. That is very nice. I've got trim switches here. I've got a tilt and trim for my CMC trim plate for my 25 Yamaha back there. If you look down in here, I've got a storage compartment that I keep all the safety gear in. So I've got my life jackets in there, horns, everything you might need, even my captain's papers, everything stays in there. And then if you notice, I've got my tiller extension from Carbon Marine on that side that fits right here. So that does me a good job for when I'm standing up. I added this little waterproof bag that it typically comes on all the hoppers. I added that so I can keep my eyeglasses in here, my keys, anything I need to get to in a hurry, my phone, everything stays in there. It stays waterproof. Does a really good job. This boat is laid out, in my opinion, very well. From the polling platform, the T-bore clip, you name it. I've added about everything I can to this boat without adding a lot of weight. All I can tell you is I'm super satisfied with the performance of this boat, where it allows me to fish, the experiences I'm able to give my clients in a boat like this, especially on the really low winter tides where being able to fish the backcountry can become just special, where you can literally have 40, 50, 60 fish days. This is the type of boat that'll allow you to do that, honestly. Not kidding you at all. No BS there. Hey, if you like what you see here on FlatsClass YouTube, I want you guys to subscribe. I want you to give us a thumbs up, and please, by all means, share this information with your friends. It is my job to make all of you better anglers. And what we like to do here is, it's just not fishing tips. It's just not product reviews. It's adventure. Sometimes we put our shows on here, our podcasts on here, and sometimes just busman fishing days like I had with Captain Adam Maye today. We put that on there just to show you, hey, we're just regular guys too, going fishing. All right, till next time, Captain C.A. Richardson, signing off.